The presenting sponsor of Moontower Soccer is FVF Law.
To find out what makes FVF a different kind of injury law firm, you can visit fvf.law.
Hello, friends, and thanks for listening to Moontower Soccer. This week, we're going to cover some potential incoming and outgoing transfer news and some of the other Austin FC news we missed over the last couple of weeks due to holiday circumstances. My name is Landon Cottam, and I'm joined, as always, by Mr. Jeremiah Bentley.
Hey, everybody. I'm Jeremiah Bentley. Landon, we just admit now, early on here, you're on the struggle bus. We're all here for you. Listeners are here for you. I'm here for you. And our reinforcements who will carry the show for us are here for you, too. So I'm happy to be joined by content creator extraordinaire, soccer fan, and Julio Cascante lover, 69-69-420, Steph Cragnola.
Why would you do that to me right at the top? I was so happy, and now I'm so sad again. Hey, everyone. I'm Steph Cragnola, and I'm sad.
You have to introduce our
I have to
now.
pass it along, and I'm joined, as always, by my husband, Mike.
Hey, it's me, Mike Cragnola. I work here.
So this is like a Zoom meeting now, right? It's like, oh, we're gonna popcorn introductions around the room. Yeah.
Yeah, if I could just hear a little bit about everybody's background, so that just so I know what stakeholders we've got in the room. Thanks.
So, Mike, where are you based?
Yeah. So I'm virtual, but I do live in Austin, Texas.
Okay, so we were gonna do Moontower After Dark this week. I went and caught the flu, and so
regular sickness.
I'm on the mend now, but I figured it wouldn't necessarily be a great idea so close to the illness to invite a bunch of people over to my house. But then also, I didn't know that my body would be ready to intake that amount of alcohol quite yet. So we're doing a regular episode today. We let the Cragnolas come along anyway because we were so excited to see them. And also, I'm not operating at 100% capacity right now. So they're going to hopefully help pick up the extra pieces where I'm dropping them. But thanks so much for joining us. So happy to see you. I hope y'all had a great holiday break. I ended up spending Christmas Eve by myself in a hotel room in Mustang, Oklahoma.
Oh my gosh.
No.
That's so sad. Did you write a song?
I didn't. I watched like nerdy YouTube videos and played some video games on my computer.
Ooh, nice.
But there was a lot of sick little children running around at my parents' house in Fort Worth. And I knew that I was in trouble when one of like 3 or 4 year olds was running through the living room and he stopped and sneezed and then ran off and his sneeze left a puddle on the floor.
At least it didn't leave a puddle on you, which is a thing that happened to me once at the Zach. We were watching a show and the woman behind me sneezed and it got all over my arm. And I have never felt more in need of like burning my skin off than that moment. It was horrible.
Yeah, there's something forgivable and maybe sometimes charming about it when it's a little kid that does it, but if it's an adult stranger, yeah, no way.
Yeah.
So we're not doing After Dark this week. We are still having our New Year's Day hangout. So that is going to be, that's Thursday, is that right?
Yes.
It is Thursday. Yes.
Thursday, January 1st, the first day of the new year, 2026, will be at Turnstile, 2 p.m. Come hang out. We're going to buy some appetizers. We've confirmed with the venue. They will have appropriate staffing for us, which is good to know when we bring an extra dozens to hundreds of people to their establishment unexpected. But it's been a very good time the last few years. I should be in good health and good spirits by then. But we'll still be doing that. We are going to reschedule After Dark at some point. Maybe we'll talk about that after we get done recording, but we'll get that out sometime in the not so distant future. All right, let's get into the news. Jeremiah, where should we start?
Well, let's start with this we talked all about the player, Joseph Rosales, but we expected him to be the green smoke that we saw right before last week's show. But we got the details specifically, so I thought we could go through a couple of the points on this here. So this is on Tuesday, December 23rd. Austin FC announced they had acquired Honduran international defender midfielder Joseph Rosales from Minnesota United. We did get confirmation that it's a cash for player trade in exchange for $1.5 million. So that was one thing that was up in the air a little bit. And then we also got the contract terms, which are a 3.5-year contract with Austin, guaranteed through June 2029 with an option for the 29-30 season. And I thought it was interesting. What was he listed as? A fullback and midfielder? That they were specific about the fact that he has that versatility in the announcement itself.
Yeah, so I think the Bogert had reported that he thought it was going to be a cash trade, and we got confirmation of that. I think one interesting point to that is how that shakes out in his roster designation. I know the North End boys and friend of the show, Long Cow, who are even more of roster designation CBA sickos than I am, have postulated that this could mean that Austin is kind of making a move to be able to use a significant amount of TAM on Joseph Rosales, which would free up other pots of money to use on other players. That could be one way they go with it, and I think depending on what they do, that could be a smart way to go with it. It's not the most exciting way to use all your TAM, but in the end, it's all about maximizing resources, and that's one way to do it. So that'll be something interesting to see as time goes on. The defender midfielder part, like, do any of y'all have any thoughts on that? I said last week, like, I don't think they're bringing him here to play midfield and that they're putting that there just because he has played midfield. But do y'all read more into that?
I think it harkens back to kind of like the early days of Austin FC where everyone in the front office talked about how important positional flexibility is and highlighting that we are committed to this idea that like we're going to get the best players available on the field at any time, wherever they fit in whatever situation we've got, right? And so highlighting the fact that we are continuing that concept of we've got limited spaces. Here's a kid who can play all over the field. I think that's probably mostly it, but I would be shocked to see him in the middle of the park.
I also wonder if part of it is trying to stave off rumors of who will be letting go for this trade.
Yeah, possibly.
We'll talk about this later. But I think that if they said specifically midfield, it would be a much hotter Danny and Owen conversation from folks. And so the fact that they're making it a little vague by like talking about how versatile he is, maybe that might be more devious than like they deserve credit for in their press releases. But I just wonder if some of it is like, don't start complaining yet, everyone, that we have oops all midfielders.
Yeah, or like other teams don't try to lowball us for Guilherme Biro or John Kolmanich. Like we could play him anywhere, dog. Like, who knows?
Yeah. I don't think that's too far afield. That could legitimately be correct, because we'll get into the Biro stuff later about who might be on the move, but I don't think you pay that much for a player like Rosales for him to not be the starter. And
yeah.
I don't know that he's a guaranteed starter in our midfield, even as it is now. I think he is the starter at left fullback or left wing back. And so that's just what I'm reading into it as far as like what the move means for the team. But as far as the messaging that they're putting out into the world, I think y'all could absolutely be right.
Which would be consistent with that whole the whole like, oh, we can do 3 and 3 or we can do 2 and 4, right? From the last press release, where it's like we're not gonna play our hands. We're just gonna bring this up and let you know that there's potential out here for us to do crazy things.
Well, I'm sure we'll sprinkle in some other thoughts on, I guess, contextual thoughts on Rosales as we move forward through the show. Any other specific thoughts on Rosales before we move forward?
Yeah, we got an email from the Looney Bin podcast, who we have done opponent spotlight with on Swoontower a couple of times, and they are very sad to see him go. They said treat him well. He's a very athletic player with a high ceiling, especially if he can start trusting his right foot more. Excited to talk about him and more with you, maybe before the season opener. So be on the lookout, folks who listen to Swoontower. We're going to try and do a little bit of a like, I don't know, how would you describe it? The round table with our friends that we've made throughout podcast world. But like, they are very sad to see him go. And if you listen back to the opponent spotlights with them, they both brought up Joseph Rosales, like, unbidden, both of the recording sessions that we had with them, as far as like culture leaders on the field and as far as like talent players go. So I'm pretty excited to see what he does here in Austin.
All right. Looking forward to that. Jeremiah, should we move on to the next bit here?
Yeah, let's move on to the SuperDraft. This is something we talked about because this happened before we did the show last week. We said we would get more into this week. As we recall, Austin traded away their first pick of the SuperDraft. Yes, Austin traded away their first pick in the SuperDraft.
That was part of the Jaden Nelson trade.
It's part of the Jaden Nelson. There you go. Jaden, whose last name I got wrong like 3 different ways last time.
2 first names, man. It's tricky.
It's always bad. I went to high school with 2 guys named Stuart Kyle and Alan Kyle. And so the brothers both had the same ability to have 2 first and 2 last names.
I went to high school with a kid named DJ Rosales. And so those Minnesota teams where they were constantly starting DJ Taylor and Joseph Rosales, I always wanted to call him DJ Rosales. So now that he's on our team, I'm finally going to get his name right.
Let's go.
Well, maybe. Unless we bring in a Kyle, or not a Kyle. Who was it? DJ?
DJ
A
Taylor.
DJ.
Robert Taylor.
That's right.
So Austin has the 2 picks here. So on the 47th pick, they select forward Stevan Dobrjevic.
Oh,
And
I got a pronunciation here.
You got the pronunciation?
His
Okay.
parents are Serbian, and so he goes full Serbian when he says his name. So Stefan Dobrjevic, something like that.
Dobrjevic from Uniontown, Ohio.
That's
Of
right.
Serbian parents. And then midfielder Patrick Kaelia, the 3rd round with the 77th overall pick. I mean, Landon, you said you watched some tape, so why don't you fill us in a little bit on what to expect from these guys?
That is also part of how
I
I spent my my sickness time in the hotel room in Mustang, Oklahoma. I was watching tape on these 2 players. So Dobrjevic played 4 years at Akron. He rarely started his first 3 years and then broke out his senior year and had 8 goals and 12 assists. And you have to remember, when we're talking about these college seasons, they're significantly shorter. So that's in 21 games. And so
we would have taken those numbers over a full MLS season too.
So 8 goals, 12 assists his senior year. He's a big body, so he's 6'2", but mostly played left wing for Akron. So reminds me a little bit of Logan Farrington for Dallas in that sense, where like you look at his body type, he looks like a striker, but the way he plays isn't really that. And so I think maybe like a mix of Farrington and CJ Fodre. I think he's probably a little less skillful than Farrington and probably a little less athletic than Fodre. So I don't know that we're necessarily getting like the best combination of those 2 players, but he is like a big body player, better vision and skill than you'd expect for his body type, but maybe not like the speed and athleticism that you would hope for after seeing someone like Fodre come through.
He's got a great mustache. For a kid, that's pretty good.
And then Patrick Kaeli, I watched some of him as well. Originally from South Carolina, played 4 years at Penn. We're getting 2 smart boys here. Penn is an Ivy League school, and then Dobrjevic got his MBA while in school at Akron. And
Just
I think
like Riley Thomas.
He was like academic All-American, I believe. not regular All-American, but academic All-American. But he had 9 goals and 8 assists as an attacking mid in 17 games this year. Lots of his goals were penalties, but some of the assists were really, really nice. So he strikes the ball really, really well, both in service and in shots from distance. So has some skill. As far as the ceiling goes on both of these guys, I don't think either of them have much of a shot at an MLS contract, but I would expect both of them to be pretty well suited to play for Austin FC too. And maybe like with Dobrjevic, he's a late bloomer. Maybe he surprises us and comes on really strong and pushes for a spot on the first team. But I would expect both of them to fit pretty squarely into Austin FC too.
In this promo picture, Patrick Kaeli looks like he should be the gym teacher on a like 90s style high school sitcom. Like he just looks like a middle-aged man.
At 21.
At 21, yeah. But like not in a Mateja Djordjevic way, in like he's wearing short gym shorts and blowing a whistle. That's just the vibe. That's my vibe from him.
He probably does wear like that Ivy League prep style.
Yeah.
Does he have a buzz cut?
I hope he
too?
doesn't tuck his jersey in.
Oh, I don't remember. I think maybe he didn't, but I don't remember exactly.
We'll have to check the tapes.
They did.
Yeah, how could you not remember?
The announcers were calling him Patty in the games that I was watching, though.
Ew.
Wow.
I have a visceral reaction to that. I won't.
You will not be doing that. Okay, so
His
I think
name's
like
Patrick. I'm in the
don't call him Pat.
Palmer Field stands. Use his full name. That's weird.
So what should we expect? I mean, I think we've learned to expect Austin FC2 play level, sometimes starters, sometimes not out of these guys. Like, what do we think?
Yeah, because I've read a lot of scouting reports that said both of these guys are MLS level competitors, Landon.
Man,
so
these mock
Play the
drafts, these mock drafts and like scouting reports, especially so this guy.
one of them had a number that was 80, and 80 means really good.
What's the guy's name? Kelkenberg, Mark Kelkenberg, who knows a lot about these players and like even in his stuff, and he's been doing this for a while, right? In his mock drafts, he'll be like, "Oh, well, this team is just lost their striker," and so they'll maybe go as like, "That's not how these teams operate," and like these guys are not going to slot in. Like Miami losing their 9 doesn't mean they're going to pick a 9 in the draft and make that their starter. And I'm so shocked at all these people covering it like that's how it works, and it is absolutely not. And so, yeah, that's a rant, neither here nor there, but.
Yeah, we should have gone all caps.
Dang it. We can't do it after the fact now.
Do it in post, Landon.
All caps. Oh, that's the wrong way.
All caps.
That's even better. That other one.
All caps powered by AI. Got the chat GPT all caps in here.
This whole show is made by AI, Mike. All right. Well, I think we're good on SuperDraft here. Should we take a break and then get on to some of the
let's
other
just take a break and
rumors?
cover all the other rumors, both sensical and nonsensical.
All right, hang tight. We'll be right back with more Moontower Soccer. Will one of y'all read the ads, and I'm gonna go take care of my respiratory ailments.
Yeah.
Moontower Soccer is brought to you by our friends at FVF Law, the official injury lawyers of Austin FC.
FBF is a different kind of personal injury law firm dedicated to community, transparency, and client education. And they have their own podcast called Summary Judgment. Check it out wherever you get your podcasts.
You can go to FVF.law to find out what makes FVF a different kind of injury law firm and why understanding your legal options can dramatically change the outcome of a case. Once again, that's FVF.law.
Amplify Credit Union is a member-owned financial cooperative that served the needs of Central Texans for over 5 decades. As a credit union, Amplify has no shareholders or parent companies. That means more of your money stays in the community.
Amplify has been the home of free Amplify
See?
has been
Not that easy, is it?
It's not. Amplify has been the home of fee-free banking since 2022. Their free checking accounts come with 0 overdraft fees or minimum balance. That means Amplify's fee-free checking accounts help you get more mileage from your everyday spending.
Amplify membership is open to any Texas resident. Learn to trust your bank again at Amplify Credit Union. To learn more, go to www.goamplify.com/moontower-soccer. Who wrote that copy with fee-free banking?
Fee-free.
Me. Yeah. I mean, they
It's important to know, but it's hard to
their
say.
thing. It's hard to say. Yeah.
All right, we are back. Thanks so much, Corniolas, for covering ad copy for me while I took care of my respiratory ailments. I'm not going to listen back to it. I'm just going to plug it in as is. So
It was perfect.
I'm assuming it needs
It's perfect.
no.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
All right, more player rumors. Jeremiah, where should we start here?
So we have I guess maybe one sort of kind of maybe credible player in rumor. So we'll cover that one. That's Tadeo Allende, which was reported. What is the original source of this?
Sebastian Srur, S-R-U-R, is a reporter in Argentina. I believe he covers River Plate. He reported Austin as being quote unquote interested in the player. Who knows what that means? So Allende was on loan from Celta Vigo to Miami. Miami's trying to get him back. But reports in Spain are saying that it will take $10 million for Celta Vigo to let him go. There's also reports from Argentina saying that River Plate is offered $2.5 million plus a 50% sell-on. So it seems like at least Miami and River are in somewhat of a bidding war, or at least like trying to get Celta Vigo to let him go. I think all that is one thing. I don't know that we need to dive too much into those details, but let's talk about what it means for Austin. It means that it looks like if Austin actually is interested in this guy and wants to go get him, the amount they would need to spend would mean that he is going to be a designated player. Thoughts and reactions to that?
So I guess my first question is, has there ever been a team that had 3 designated player strikers before?
I would guess no, but I don't know that for a fact.
Also, I feel like Reddit must be thrilled with this rumor, because I don't know if you knew, we gotta score some goals. And
Oh, yeah.
so if we don't score some goals, then obviously the answer is more strikers.
That's a great point, Reddit.
And so tell me why that might not be true, Landon or Jeremiah or Steph.
Are you saying that it may be important to have a midfielder who can get the ball to the strikers in order for them to score goals that might help?
No, Jeremiah, that's ridiculous.
We need goals. We don't
We
need
need
assists.
goals.
We need goals.
Yeah, we
Oh,
don't
sorry.
need someone to create opportunities. We need strikers. Strikers put the ball in the hole.
Men who put the ball in the net. Big men. That's what we need.
Okay, all joking aside, this rumor scares me,
Same.
honestly.
Yeah.
Not just for the bit, but also that guy had the best chance creator of all time feeding him goals all year.
Yeah, and I think he is good. I think he's a good player. And in other circumstances, I would be happy to have him on the team. My hope is this is my wish casting my copium here, that they were looking to try to figure out a way to get Uzuni off the books. And this was the Uzuni replacement.
I see.
I have no information saying that. This is purely speculation, but or maybe that they're thinking, okay, maybe we could get him on a loan or cheap enough that he's not a DP. That would be another thing where you could potentially run a front 3 of those guys. But I mean, even with Nelson, it doesn't really make sense still.
It also doesn't. It doesn't track with
What they do on the field.
right.
Yeah.
Looking at the way that Vasquez and Uzuni didn't work together, it was one or the other, and then trying to add a third to that. That makes zero sense. Like unless it's like a rule, like when you cross your fingers, you can't cross them twice because that negates it. So maybe if we had a third crossed finger, a third striker, that like negates the bad luck, and now we're good luck again.
Yeah, goals come in threes. It's just like comedy.
Yeah. So jeez. If this is the kind of player that Roto is looking for, then the man has learned nothing. And if we sign either this guy or a player in this profile with our last designated player spot after essentially pulling off a miracle to move Bukhari to open up that designated player spot, I've said, like, after this winter transfer window, I will have enough information to like make a judgment on Roto. I will officially be putting him in the bad job category if he replaces this DP spot with Allende or a similar profile. Like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, I think this rumor has nothing to it. I can't believe that. I cannot force myself to believe we would make a move that bad.
Maybe they called Celta Vigo and said, hey, we got this guy who scored 50 goals in Spain. Would you be interested in a trade? He's also big. He also puts ball in net. For you, not for us.
Not in this country in this way.
Yeah, but I don't think. I don't think that's happening based on recent socials.
Yes, which I think we
I know.
are getting
ahead of
to
myself.
in a bit.
Yeah, most of that reporting came out a couple of weeks ago, and it was kind of like one line by one guy said that we were interested. Nothing else has come out of it since then. My guess, reading between the lines, speculation would be maybe Roto reached out, but when Celta Vigo says the number's 10 million, take it or leave it, he said, okay, no thanks, talk to you later, and walked away. Hopefully that's the case, but we shall see. Let's talk about this other, even less substantive rumor.
Would you like a Casemiro recently of the English Premier League? Which is one of those, I will say, I have many soccer friends who are very Premier League centric, and like I got texts from 3 of them all excited about this potential move just because it was like a name they do, which is not a way that it's not something we should focus on when acquiring players.
I honestly, I wouldn't mind.
Hey, friends, raise your hands. Have you heard of this player? And that's how we judge potential. Just at your family Thanksgiving or holiday or whatever, you just have to see who knows a name.
We're just going to sign Tim Howard then.
Landon Donovan, is he
no.
With his new hairpiece? Looks great.
And Pele. Yeah, this one, essentially, there is no founding to this. It was a guy writing an article for Sports Illustrated, which if you've paid attention to Sports Illustrated soccer coverage over the last several years, you know that there's no reporting or anything going on. It's just like they give someone a topic and they write a story about it. Or at sometimes it's AI writing it, which they have.
I was going to ask, are we sure this is a guy?
This was credited to a guy who seemed to be real.
Okay.
But wasn't reporting it as fact or sources say. He was just like, hey, Casemiro might go to MLS. What teams might fit? Austin has a DP spot. Let's name them.
I see.
That seems to be all that there was to it. I mean, Casemiro would probably be very good in MLS. He doesn't really solve our problems. I don't know enough about him. Maybe you folks who do pay more attention to the Premier League in the last few years could tell me more about it. But like, does he seem like the kind of guy who's going to come here and work super hard and like be the team guy? Like it's proven now that these older Euro guys that come over, if they don't put the work in, if they don't buy in, it doesn't work. Is he going to be that guy? And would he be that guy for Austin?
I don't see any reason that he would to believe that he would be. I mean, this seems like a retirement league. It's one, there's like questionable credibility, and then 2, like if this is like an MLS fit, then it does seem like the guy's going to come over and try to play a couple years and make some cash and not really do a whole lot. Like maybe he would fit in on a team that was deep and didn't ask a lot of him, but he's not going to be like the difference maker for Austin when they need a difference maker.
And then do you use a DP spot on a number 6?
A 33-year-old number 6.
Yeah.
Who will be 34 2 days after the open of the season. I would like to say ideally no.
Yeah. Okay. I think we've probably already given this more time than it deserved, but
yeah.
Let's move on. I think this next one is probably the most interesting rumor / report, and probably the most meat on the bones here, which is Guilherme Biro. We speculated last week that when the Rosales thing seemed like it was imminent, that there's a weird number of left backs on this roster now, and that probably somebody's on the move, or it means like somebody's making a position change, something like that. We see Guilherme Biro repost an Instagram post from his agent saying that they had a productive meeting about Biro's future. Very much a kind of thing like signaling this guy's on the market, come and get him.
Yeah.
I have two questions written here. What do we feel?
Bad.
And what do we think? Which one do we want to cover first?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked feel first, because to me, Guilherme Biro is the ultimate emotion player. Both the way he plays and the way he makes me feel when he plays. He will routinely do a thing that doesn't make any sense and is beautiful and magical and like has captured my heart. I know the North End boys all very much love Guilherme Biro. I also very much love Guilherme Biro. I think it was his second game. He trapped a ball with his shin guard, like out of the air, and then like turned around and dribbled like 4 dudes. And it was one of those moments where like, oh, this is what a Brazilian soccer player looks like when he's playing for you and feeling it, right? It was just, there's so many moments that you can pick out where he's done something special or fun or ludicrous. And like, he, to me, encapsulates all of the fun of watching soccer. And so it's a really emotionally tricky potential goodbye to be grappling with right now for me.
Yeah, I think the entertainment part is something we should touch on, because 2 of our most entertaining players were Guilherme Biro and Osman Bukhari. So Bukhari's officially gone already. Biro is like, for all of his faults, was a lot of fun to watch. And then not just the way he plays, the way that he exists in the world is entertaining.
Yeah.
And so that is sad. I think that we'll get into some of the logistics of why I think this move makes sense right now. But one thing I'll say on this topic of how we feel, we are losing some of this entertainment factor. Maybe we'll get some of that back in. Maybe we won't. But one thing I will say is that winning is also pretty entertaining, which is probably all that Roto cares about. So hopefully we can get that version of entertainment, if not the Biro Bukhari version of entertainment and winning.
Yeah, to be clear, I think that Joseph Rosales is like hands down the right choice at left back for this club now that he's here. There's no question in my mind that Biro doesn't make the cut above Rosales. Now, if we need a third center back in a back 5, that's a space where I think Biro has more of a chance of beating out his competition than he would on the left wing there. But
we have John Bell now.
That's right.
And so it seems like these pieces have been put in place for this very scenario you're laying out. But I mean, so Guilherme Biro, let's go into like what we think about it. Let's talk logical Swoontower stuff right now. Biro is a guy that Roto found in the 2nd division of the Brazilian league. Reports are murky on what we paid for him. He was still under contract with Mirassol, so it seems like we probably paid something, but I never found any reporting on what it actually was. I can't imagine it was a lot. For a guy, how old is he now?
25.
25 years old. Like the amount that he's progressed in the last couple of years to like I would say above average MLS left back. And like you would have to imagine like his stock has gone up significantly. I think Transfermarkt has him at 2 million. Who knows if that's accurate? Who knows if that's what we'll get for him? But if it's anywhere close to that, that has to be a lot more than what we paid. More than likely a lot more than what we paid. I don't know that if Austin FC if Austin FC has 4 million in GAM sitting around from past transfers, I'm not sure that Roto is necessarily doing all these machinations to like move Biro and bring in Rosales and do all this stuff. But we are a like cash strapped team, and he's trying to do as much as he can to get that extra wiggle room. When you look at players who you got for cheap, you've created a market for, Biro is one of those guys. And you're able to find a guy who's in Rosales who can play that position probably to like at worst a marginally better degree. I would argue significantly better, like just a well-rounded player. It starts to make sense. And like, so you could sell Biro now, potentially sell Rosales in a few years as well. And so it's just like this cycle of bringing in players, selling them, bringing in players, selling them, that LAFC has done, that other teams have done, that has given them these stores of GAM that you can see Roto trying to start that flywheel of money coming in. If it works out, it's brilliant. It's a really smart move. And I think these are the kinds of things you have to do. But it is very sad to see the boys we like leave.
Yeah, ultimately it comes down to
teach them how to say goodbye.
Teach them how to, oh yeah. It's one of the few players Austin can make a profit on at this point, right? Like Austin has not done a good job of bringing in people and building them up. And so you have to look at that possibility. I'm really going to miss Apple TV broadcasters talking about the wrong Guilherme Biro.
Oh
and
my God.
everybody having to correct him
And
over and
honestly,
over again.
We should move him just so that we never have to hear Keith Costigan mispronounce his name ever again. That alone is worth 2 million in GAM to me. Like MLS All-Star Guilherme Biro. It is, I think, Landon, you are right. It is sad, but it is the right move to be moving on from players like him, especially when we've got such a clear upgrade.
Yeah, I've said on the show for a long time that I think if he stayed in the league, he was going to become kind of an MLS folk legend like Nuhu has for Seattle, of just being like a grade A weirdo. And I'm sad that he's not going to get the time or the attention to be able to like cement his place there.
He makes for a great Scott Specht jersey, though.
Oh, absolutely.
If he leaves this offseason, he makes for a great next year's jersey Scott Specht choice.
All right, what else we got, Jeremiah?
Well, I guess the next thing we have, this is the insights that from a Mirto Unizuni interview with a Spanish market, but largely, I don't know, I pulled the English versions from We Are Austin TV, so credit to them. I thought it was a super interesting interview just in terms of like, well, especially this guy, Soccer Robot, his human side, and just like being open and honest about being away from Spain and how tough it was, and sort of the aloneness of being in Austin and being in this league, and the excitement that his family's going to get here next year. And so maybe, I don't know, man, I'm hoping for anything. I'm hoping that having his family here and settled in will lead him to joy and goals.
And we got the confirmation that his family hasn't been here, which we thought maybe they were. They at least visited at one point. And I think we thought maybe that meant they were living here, but it turns out they weren't. They've been in Spain this whole time.
Yeah, coming by to visit.
I also think it was of interest that he mentioned how many plane trips he had to take. And I know that like international flights are exhausting and blah, 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 but considering he's afraid of flying rumors from the very beginning of the season, I just thought that was a really noteworthy mention from him.
Yeah, and like to be clear, if you haven't read the article, it is definitely worth chasing down. Like even just the quote from the top of it. I felt like a king in Granada, and I will return one day as a player. Like, yeah, I don't know. Worth reading, I think, to get an insight into Mirtu Uzuni.
So I think Uzuni is a player to me. I still believe he is a good soccer player. I know a lot of people in Austin have given up on that idea. I think he's a man with the yips. I was talking to my wife. Ashley played some sports in high school, but was never like a very involved athlete in any form. So we were talking about the concept of the yips, and that it's like this mental thing. Like I got the yips real bad in baseball in high school. Steph, what is like the most common version of the yips in skating?
I don't know. I have never. I as you were explaining it, I was thinking about it, and like I never had the yips because you're out there for 4 minutes at a time, and like you have bad competitions, but you don't blame it on superstition. I did have a coach who didn't allow us to wear green dresses because he thought that was bad luck. Like it just isn't like.
I would argue the yips isn't superstition though.
Yeah,
I think it's like a
beyond.
psychology thing.
Yeah. You know how?
Oh, we just called that trauma.
Well,
We just called that a Wednesday.
Something in between. Yeah.
I was gonna say, you know how you always you knew you were gonna fall on your second jump in that sequence every single time that you talked about.
Yeah, because I was bad at combinations.
Well, sure, but like,
And I didn't practice. Maybe that's
Okay.
my problem. I was bad at sports. Like I didn't practice hard. So I just kind of like went out in competition, and I was always better in competition than in practice. So like we ball, you know?
A movie we talk about on this podcast bizarrely often is Major League. And Jeremiah, is it Major League or Major League 2 where the catcher can't throw the ball back to the pitcher's mound?
That's Major League 2.
And so that's like the classic version of the yips in film to me, where it's like a simple thing that you've done a million times, and for some reason something breaks in your brain and you can't do it anymore. I think that is what Mirtu Uzuni has right now. I'm hoping
I see. So
that
you're talking just on like penalty kicks, like one
scoring
specific
goals,
move?
striking the ball, that whenever he winds up to hit the ball, a thing he's done a million times in his career, that whenever he goes to do it, his brain says, you're going to miss. And he misses. And that there's just like a psychological thing. It's nothing wrong with his body. It is in his head.
I wonder if this is like, as I'm thinking through the psychology of this, I'm wondering if it is more common in sports where generally players are confident to begin with. And I think that might no, and I'm not even saying this to be like haha drama, but like I was like led to believe I was bad, and so I never like that was a constant state of mind, was I was going to be bad instead of like I'm like, as I'm thinking through it, the default was I'm gonna mess this up.
yeah, and we know Mirtu's default is
I'm gonna be amazing.
I'm here
see
to score
everything,
goals
yeah.
and break records.
Yeah.
I see everything.
Certain profiles of athlete or sports where it is like confidence and ego driven. And I think being a striker is very much that.
I
But
also think it's a team sport thing, because the more you let your team down, the more you're going to, I assume, get in your head about those easy things that you've done before, because you have other people relying on you for it, instead of a sport like skating where it's just you messing up out there.
yeah, in any case, I'm hoping that him getting his family here, having a year under his belt. You remember, he was not here for most of preseason. Started the season late, didn't really get the full opportunity to get settled in. He's talking in this interview as if he's going to be here in 2026, that his family is planning to come here permanently in March. I'm hoping that once he gets settled back in, has a preseason, has his family here, feels comfortable, has a year under his belt, that he can get rid of the yips, get rid of that monkey off of his back, feel confident, feel focused, and start scoring goals again. I still believe there's parts of the team that need to help him more on that, but at least I'm hoping that on his part of it, he can get right in that aspect.
Well, before we move on to this Brad Stuver video, which I loved, Rube Baker is the name of the catcher in Major League 2, and he tells this great story about, he goes, man, I do this all the time. He goes, Charlie Sheen's character loses his girlfriend, and he says, I've never lost a girlfriend, but I got kicked in the balls by a mule once. And that hurt real bad until my grandmother died. And then I didn't worry so much about my balls. It's just the most unhinged analogy to make Charlie Sheen feel better. But I feel like I had to bring that Major League 2 reference in.
Do you also remember how he cured his yips?
No.
He memorized profiles of the girls from like Playboy magazine.
The centerfolds, right?
Recite
long walks
to
on
the
the beach
batter while he was throwing the ball back. And so he wasn't thinking about baseball anymore. And so his body would take over and just do the motion automatically because he wasn't thinking about it.
That's the trick.
I'm learning so much.
Get near to Izumi, some mid-90s Playboys, I guess.
It's a good movie, Steph. You should watch it.
Okay.
Oh. All right, so we did get this Brad Stuver 5 years in one day. Austin signed him. He goes through this retrospective. I actually went and found like the original press release from bringing Brad Stuver in, and so let's get to share a little bit out of that. Love this. Stuver, 29, has spent 7 seasons in MLS, though he hasn't held a starting role yet. Most recently with NYCFC. And then there's this quote from Claudio here. Brad fits the profile we're looking for in a goalkeeper. He has a good presence on and off the field. He's technically solid. Great opportunity for Brad to compete for the number 1 spot, and we look forward to integrating him for the rest of the squad, because we already had Andrew Tarbell and Brady Scott there. What a journey. What a 5 years for this man.
Mm-hmm.
The best part of that, Austin currently have 15 players under contract for 2021. And so it could be worse, is what I'm trying to get at. This was December 28th, 2020. We had 15 players under contract for our first season that was happening very shortly. We've got almost a full roster now, so could be worse.
It's almost too full right now.
But yeah, it has been a great 5 years with, I know he's only sometimes the captain, but like, let's be real.
Yeah. What a blessing Bradley has been for our team and for our city.
And there was a little note in here about how he was like a great person on and off the field. And I felt that really undersold his, like, it's like a half a sentence. And I'm like, okay, but really off the field? Like, he's a freaking saint. Like, let's maybe play that up too. It's great that I have a player that's so good in both ways.
Yeah, but it's unsurprising that Claudio Reyna didn't care about that as much.
True. Very true.
All right, let's talk about this. These reported MLS divisional realignments. So this is from The Athletic, a story from Paul Tenorio and Tom Bogert about kind of the new division realignments that are going to happen once that season calendar switches in 2027. Where should we start here, Jeremiah?
Well, I think we've talked about the 2 main possibilities, and I think they still talk about there still being maybe 2 options, two for the California clubs. But the way this is looking at right now is there would be 5 divisions of 6 teams, and the 3 Texas teams are connected with the 3 Southern California teams, which I think we thought was probably the most likely scenario in the past. That's not that surprising. We did a little bit of math, which is something that's kind of scary to do, but it looks like this would lead to, at least up front, 10 games in your division and then 24 games out of your division, playing everybody else once for a total of 34, which would be nice because we have these weird things where we play teams multiple years in a row and then we don't play other teams at all when we look at the Eastern Conference teams. So I think that balance is really strong. What do y'all think we might see going down the road with this?
I have a specific question about this actual grouping of teams and like different reactions I've seen from different people of being in the group with the LA teams and San Diego, who 2 of those teams were really good this year. all three of them have been good at some point in the last few years. Does that make you excited to be in like the group with the big boys, or does it make you scared to lose against those teams more often than we need to?
So before we dive into that, I do think that generally the divisions seem to be 3 good teams and 3 bad teams. Ours obviously is crazy because it's 3 good teams, the best team in the world, and 2 bad teams, right? Like that's nuts. What a group of death. Wow. But like from a Moon Tower like perspective, I was very surprised at how evenly distributed talent was across the divisional realignment here. You look at that Northwest division, and Vancouver, Portland, and Seattle obviously are the 3 teams like carrying quality through that section, right? With San Jose, Real Salt Lake, and Colorado Rapids kind of forming the Texas of the Northeast there, or the Northwest there, where like those teams aren't, they're not exactly contenders every year. And so generally, I think that the other divisions shake out roughly the same as well, as far as quality across is concerned.
So we're not playing in the SEC of Major League Soccer. That's too bad.
But
I was ready to cheer for my division and get like a tattoo of it on my head.
my take on that, though, is that's true this year. But like, if you look at our group, both LA teams missed the playoffs just a few years ago. The Colorado Rapids won the West a few years ago. And LA Galaxy was one of the worst teams in the league this year. And so do we think that like, okay, that's true this year, but do we think that like the talent grouping, surely like by the time this even goes into effect, who knows what's going to be true?
Oh, Dallas and Houston are still going to be terrible. So like, I don't know that there's really a question here, Landon.
I think just the nature of MLS in general, the way that teams can roller coaster up and down so significantly, looking at Galaxy from last year to this year, or I guess 2 years ago to last year. And then seeing San Diego come out of nowhere and having no idea what they're actually going to be like as a team, the way that our second season, we did pretty good. And then, stuff happened. I just think that MLS is volatile, and there is no good way to predict evenness of like team skill. And I think we could make an argument that we are really excited or really nervous for any grouping. If you put us with 5 other teams at random across MLS, like it's going to be a mix of, some people are excited and some people are nervous.
I think if you also look at like schedule breakdown, it's not like in some American sports, like you mostly play your conference or your division. That's not going to be true here. It's 5 extra games against those teams. Some of them at home, like half of those games against those teams are guaranteed to be at home. The rest of the games are against the rest of the league. And so if you still beat the bad teams and lose against the good teams, you're going to make the playoffs.
Right.
And so you'll still get the opportunity to finish your season. You'll be at a slight disadvantage if your division is really good that year, but you're still playing the same teams as everybody else. So you'll still have a chance to make the playoffs and make a run in the postseason. I think this is an overall good thing for Austin to be in this grouping. We get our Texas rivalries. The LA teams are always going to be pushing. I think that's good for us. I think like the sharpening of each other. What metal is it that sharpens the metal?
Iron.
Steel. Iron sharpens iron. Steel
No.
sharpens steel. I'm doing great today, guys.
Yeah.
But
It is
I
iron.
think-
I was
think
right.
No, it's steel.
No.
Or more commonly, iron. Yeah,
Whatever.
you were right.
Good
Okay.
soccer teams.
I
Good
didn't read
soccer
the whole
teams
thing.
sharpen good soccer teams. And so I think it's good for us to be in with those teams. And so that way, if we're having a good year, then the national pundits will say Austin is good because they're in this group and they're doing well.
Yeah.
If we're having a bad year, then it's be say like, oh, well, the LA teams are really good, so what else are they going to do? But I think it could put us in like a little brother kind of position as well. If Austin continues the trajectory that we're on and LAFC say continues the trajectory they're on, that it could put us in this permanent little brother spot. But I think it's a good opportunity for Austin to say, no, we're one of the, like, we deserve a seat at the adults table too.
Yeah, here's the thing that I'm really happy about with this grouping. We really like the podcast folks that we have connected up with for those 3 Southern California teams. So knowing that we'll be able to do opponent spotlights a lot with our Happy Foot, Sad Foot friends, Simply Soccer, and then the guy from San Diego.
San Diego Football.
Yep, thank you. I knew it was like
It's very simple.
normal, simple name, but I couldn't remember what it was. And so I think like that for me personally, that's something that I'm really looking forward to, and having a little pod of podcasters in this little like soccer pod is really fun. The thing that's bad about that is that we hate everyone from Dallas and Houston. So
Yeah,
yikes.
If you are listening from either of those cities, please ask someone cool to start a show about your team. Thank you.
I do have some guidelines for that show, though. I'll get to
you
those
can-
after dark.
Yeah, read our most recent podcast review for those guidelines. We should take a break.
I think there was a question not long ago
Okay.
suggesting that these divisions were going to have sponsors, and they absolutely are going to have sponsors, aren't they?
Oh, for sure.
What are they going to be called?
Ours will have to be a tech sponsor, right?
Yeah.
But will it be like the Southwest division brought to you by Intel, or will it just be called the Intel division?
No, it
Probably
would have
the
to-
first.
Yeah, it would have to have some semblance of
Changeability.
like legitimacy.
Oh,
The Audi Goals Drive Progress Award, like it has to have a name. So that, to Steph's point, you can change out the sponsors every few years.
I know that
I
they're
don't think-
capable of naming them stupid things, and I'm worried they're going to name it something stupid.
I don't think that they would. I don't think we're going to get any brand new sponsors from this. Like, it's going to be 6 existing league sponsors already. They're going to get a bigger piece of that deal. That's what I feel like. It'll be the Continental Tires division,
I
the
want
Audi
the Lay's
division.
potato chips division so bad.
can we get the messy sports drink division? Like, I feel like, the fact that his sports drink is a sponsor of the Apple TV stuff anyway is like a weird conflict of interest. But if it is the sponsor of, if it's like Southeast Division sponsored by Messy Sports Drink, I don't remember the name of it, but
Mas Plus.
yes, I think our division should get Mas Plus.
And not Pantalones.
No, thank you.
Okay, Jeremiah, you said we should take a break. We should definitely take a
Yes.
break.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break. We're going to come back, and since Swoontower is in off season, we're going to do a little Swoontower segment when we come back. So hang tight.
Moontower Soccer is brought to you by Sage Wilson Realty. The team is made up of Austin experts who are client-focused and have over 30 years of combined real estate experience.
If you or someone you know are in need of Sage real estate advice in Austin, talk to our friends at Sage Wilson Realty. Be sure to check them out online at sagewilson.com.
Our premier sponsor is McGuire Woods Consulting, helping clients in the public affairs space from lobbying at the local, statewide, and federal levels to digital and communications campaigns across the country.
McGuire Woods Consulting has offices in 10 MLS cities and is proud to support Moontower Soccer and support Austin FC because they are the team that once had Julio Cascante on their roster. Contact our friends at McGuire Woods Consulting at www.mwcllc.com for more information. All right, well, we're back, and Mike and I are taking over the reins, and going back to high school. We did this a few seasons ago, but we wanted to bring it back, and having Landon and Jeremiah here to do our senior superlatives for the end of the season. I'm just very excited. We've got a few here. This is just a fun way for us to celebrate some of the standout players this season, and some of the boys who stole our hearts.
That's right. And so, y'all, Jeremiah, Landon, I want you to give your opinions on each of these superlatives as well as we play along. And so I think the first one is always the one that goes first and is always kind of an insult.
You think?
I think no one wants this one, because if you are funny, you don't want an award for it, and then you get it and are embarrassed about it.
That's a very interesting. So this superlative is class clown, and I kind of, having taught high school for 13 years, I've known a few class clowns, and they're always so proud of the fact that they're disruptive.
I think being disruptive and being funny are different.
Yes, but I think the people who get voted class clown are not actually funny. I think they're the ones who are dinguses.
So, boys, let that inform your choices here for class clown. Steph wants to know who's the biggest dingus on Austin FC in 2025.
I mean, I was going to say one. Y'all didn't ask us if either one of us had been, named one of these before.
Yeah.
So that could have gone real sideways if I was class clown.
No, you would have known.
Well, okay, so I guess
I
let's do that. Were either of you popular enough in high school to be voted a superlative?
Me and Jeremiah went to very small high schools, so the bar was
Totally.
much
Yes.
lower than where
Oh.
you went to high school,
Yeah.
probably. So
Okay,
my senior year, I was voted Mr. Lockney High School.
Wow.
Wow.
What does that mean?
It's like most, like Alec Baldwin from 30 Rock.
You got most superlative. That is the top of all of them.
It's it's
You were the most popular boy in school.
think
Yeah.
like homecoming king. It's like that, but not.
Wow.
Oh my
But
God. I
again-
didn't know we were
again,
friends with
this is-
Mr. Lockney High School.
I
Yeah,
graduated with-
Lockney royalty.
I graduated with 37 people. There was fewer than 200 kids in my whole school.
And you knew every one of them, and they thought you were the most.
Every one of them knew him.
Oh, you're right. Good call.
Yeah.
I think I legitimately think it was because I did sports, but also was in band and academic competitions, and so I legitimately think it was because more people knew me than the kids who just played sports or just did the other stuff.
That's
Okay, Jeremiah, follow that.
Yeah.
Were
I was
you the
Mr.
most-
Era High School. I was Mr. Era High School.
No, for real?
Yeah. Yes. But kind of to Landon's point,
What?
this award always went to a senior boy. There were 8 boys in my senior class. So I mean, there was not.
You only had
This
to
is-
beat out 7 people.
I'd had to beat out 7 people. And I think probably like Landon, I was literally the only one of them that played a sport and did ULL academic competition. Both. That was it. But that does lead me to a question. So for us, because when we got down to some of these other ones, you could only get one thing. So is this going to be the rule for this one too?
Yes.
It's if you were Mr. EHS, then you cannot be friendliest or whatever. It's eventually we ran out of boys. We had 8 awards. It's everybody got something.
This year, we will only be announcing 6 awards.
Mike,
yeah.
I just want to point out how we jumped right into this. And Jeremiah's over here oh, I'm surprised you didn't ask, because he wanted so badly to talk
I
about how
Totally.
he was Mr.
Of
High
course.
School.
Of course. I mean, I was gonna get there. Do you like how I did that?
I was going to
It's supposed to be
shoehorn
more
it
subtle.
in anyway. Mike, were you voted most anything?
I was voted most unique.
Steph is
Oh.
shocked.
That feels like an insult.
Yeah. So it was me and my friend Kristen. We were both most unique, and that was because we were weirdos. If this were not a Moontower show, there would have been an expletive before that, because we were real weird.
I've heard stories of high school, Mike.
I've seen pictures of high school Mike.
So yeah, in my junior year of high school, I had 4.5-inch long bright blue Liberty spikes, And then my senior year of school, I wore a suit to school for like 3 weeks straight at the very beginning of the year because I was tired of people like thinking that I was just a punk and not anything else. And so like I did
them.
yeah. And then by the end of senior year, I was just showing up in my pajamas. And so it was like a big arc, there was a lot going on. And
how many people were in your class?
my graduating class was only 130. So what I thought was a small class until this conversation. Steph, what about you? Were you voted anything?
No.
Did anyone in your high school know who you were?
I had 3 friends.
Did you go to class?
Most of them.
Okay.
I didn't have to do any like gym classes because I got that excused for.
Got a doctor's note.
Yeah, I got a
Doctor-
coach's note.
Doctor of figure skating.
Yeah, no, my class was like 200 people, 250, something like that.
They didn't do one for everyone? Like Jeremiah's school?
No, this conversation is like making me sad.
You have
You should have gone to a smaller school, Steph.
most brown hair award goes to Steph.
I would have
Vignola.
gotten that if I had graduated from Eden Prairie High School in Minnesota because I was the only person in my class with brown hair.
All right. So that's kind of the general framing of this. Every player gets one, only if a player gets an award, they can only win that award. They cannot win another award. So think about that as we are looking at our superlatives. Maybe we should run down what they are. Class clown, most athletic, best dressed, best smile, most changed, the best friends award, and my personal favorite, the Danny Houston Memorial Most Likely to Become a Barber After Retirement Award.
All right, so I guess we'll start. We'll go back to our class clown conversation. Jeremiah, Landon, who's your class clown?
Given your
like-
parameters, the guy I was going to say, I'll go with like given the parameters. I'm assuming, and it's the guy we talked about in the show. I feel like Biro is the most wheels off, possibly obnoxious player that I don't want to save for something else later on.
Well, that's a good point. Saving people. I feel like you have to put Danny Pereira up for this one.
I think he deserves
Those are
a
my
nom.
two
Yeah.
my two options off the bat are Danny and Biro.
Yeah.
Any dark horses here?
So I think a dark horse for class clown might be Hader because of how he behaved on the sideline with the fans and with the supporter section and with all those kids in the front row of like section 108 every time he came to warm up. But I think it has to go to either Biro or Danny. And personally, I would lean Biro.
Who gets the final say?
Let's give this one to Biro, especially if it's the last time we're going to give him anything.
All right. Most athletic.
This is a tough one.
I would put forth Owen Wolf.
That's literally who I have written down.
So I would put forth CJ Fodre.
Oh.
He was one of my two choices
It's not a bad
in
shout.
this one.
Most athletic is, I think, different from most talented.
I have CJ saved for something else.
Oh, sure. Okay. I see what you might be going with on this.
I can see a few directions, and one of them is very funny.
Yeah. I just think Owen is such a all-around athlete. He also, this is going to sound like an insult, but I don't mean it as one. He doesn't have much else to offer in terms of superlatives. Like you could put him in like the friends category, or you could put but he is so singularly focused on being an athlete and a soccer player and not a personality that I think that that's like for me what pushes that forward.
Oh, so that's why actually I listened to Owen's Vamos Verde interview and was really surprised at how open he was with those guys. And so to me, I was saving Owen for most changed because he made such a huge level up this year, both on the field, off the field. Like, I mean, he moved out of his parents' house. Like, that's a big deal, you know? And
what
so
about,
for me,
what about Johnny G?
I had him or CJ. Those were my two. Just both they're sculpted humans, and two, they
I feel
also
like
run fast.
You have to at least mention Gallagher. I don't know if we have to give it to him. We have to mention him.
yeah, I think anyone who gets exempt from the beep test at the beginning of the season probably needs to win this award. I think I've come fully around to picking John Gallagher for most athletic.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
Are y'all comfortable?
I'm going to defer to the Craniolas on the final decision. I'm happy
We'll go Gally.
to put forward candidates, but I want y'all to decide. This is your thing.
Yeah, I think Gallagher's a great shout on that. All right. Best dressed.
Do they still have to be on the team? Or is this a
No.
2025?
This is 2025, Jeremiah. Everyone is alive in our hearts. But I do think there are only two options for this.
I'm curious who the second one is, frankly.
Jean Gallagher. I mean, Jean
Jean
Gallagher.
Sean Coleman's just
Jean
cowboy
Coleman.
outfit
Yeah.
is the
Yeah,
most
Jean-
remarkable.
And like, as much as you all know how much I love Julio, I think it tips to Jean this year. I think he put in more effort. I'm willing to admit, even though he doesn't look nearly as good as anything as Julio does in a t-shirt.
I'm voting Julio Cascante here still. I think Z took some big swings, but I think Julio's batting average is still much higher.
And if we're giving it to big swings, I would give the biggest swing. I think the best outfit of the entire year was Brad Stuver at the 4ATX Foundation Gala. In his Tacovas and his bolo tie, it was the most understated yet like classy, Austin-focused fit that we've seen in 5 years of Austin FC. So, like, if we're going on, like, a singular outfit, which Jean is basically his two versions of cowboy, then, like, we throw Brad in the mix as well. Brad's still too many khakis to average him out to best dressed.
I think it should be a season-long award, so one outfit doesn't win.
Yeah, I
So,
agree.
Here's my problem, though. Once Julio stopped starting, you could tell in his fits.
No, because once Julio stopped starting, the club stopped putting him in their montages, and we had to get the secret sauce from his wife's Instagram. He was still putting it in.
A lot of sweatpants and t-shirts.
I vote Julio.
I vote Jean. Jeremiah, we're going to need you to break this one.
Wow, I feel a lot of pressure. I didn't expect to have that on this show. No, I vote Julio for the consistency. And this is the last time we ever get to vote for him. Also, this is like an honorary. This is like the guy that finally gets the Oscar after 50 years of acting, or
The Lifetime
finally gets
Achievement
an
Award.
Yeah, gets that all-star vote when they weren't really an all-star anymore, but they hadn't gotten there before. So we're going to give this to Julio.
All right.
Amazing. All right, the next one, taking it back to our roots here, our Swoontower roots with Best Smile.
Yeah, we don't have time to do a full bracket, and so we're just going to have to pick.
I have a pick because I saw him in person. Brandon Vasquez has, at the introductory press conference, an amazing smile.
Yes, he
love his whole face. Love everything going on up here.
That's
Yeah.
a good shout.
It's especially nice to remember because, where he's been off the field, we haven't seen it as much. I
Landon,
have a
who's your
dark
top
horse.
pick? Oh,
Oh, I have a dark horse too. We might be about to
Me
say the same
too.
person.
All right. On the count of three. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Nico
Nico
Dubersarsky.
Dubersarsky.
Landon, you have to edit that so it all comes at the same time.
Okay.
That's so funny because I just think his smile is the purest on the team. He's not particularly handsome. Like BV9, I think anyone looks at that face and says I don't care what his smile look like. There's no isolated thing. He's just handsome, But little Nico Dubersarsky is just so pure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think on that original smile bracket, we talked about like the aesthetic attractiveness of a smile versus like the spirit of a smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the spirit behind his smile is like infectious. Like it is very joyful and childlike in a way that makes me very happy every time I see it.
Yeah. Agree. All right. Next up, this is a tough one. Most changed.
Yeah, I know I already shared my pick for this. It's Owen Wolf. 2025 was a gigantic year for him.
My pick is CJ Fodre. Because I also think that like I've seen, and I know that I'm not alone in this group of people, but I've seen this Owen for 4 years now. Not saying that he hasn't
Glimpses
gotten better.
Sure, yeah.
Like he's definitely been improving like crazy, but I feel like I've known this is him for several years. He has been outstanding in flashes, and this is like just this season for him was inevitable for me, so I don't see it as a change. I just see it as growth. CJ to me has changed drastically because we looked at the confidence bordering on cockiness that he had coming off of FC2, and that got knocked so far out of him last season when he played minutes for the first team. He was not ready. And this season, it's not just his like last second game winning goals that we've seen, which have been amazing, of course, but those didn't change him fundamentally. I think what changed fundamentally about him is that he became ready for MLS, and he became a member of the team, the first team, in a really like striking way that he found a little humility. He was working his butt off, and he's been a hard worker forever. But I just think that line of like kind of, we all saw that, right? Last season, like
Yeah,
he just
I
kind of
think-
got knocked down.
I think the difference is like a trajectory that we always thought was possible for Owen, and he
Mhm.
just did what we thought he was going to do, versus CJ, which someone we thought needed to make some changes, and he
Yeah.
did it, and it seems like it's working for him.
Jeremiah?
This assumes I think moving out of your parents' house is a pretty big change, but I'm going to set that
That's
aside.
what I'm saying. He moved in with
And-
his buddy. He's turning 21 today, isn't it?
I feel like
It's
Owen became a man this year.
And I was just going to say, I assume this is for the good, because I would say for Heather Obrion would be maybe the most changed for evil. And so I don't know if we want to
yeah.
necessarily. I don't know if we want to highlight that or not, but
No, I
I'm
think
good
this
with
is
either
most
one of these.
changed for good.
Yeah. Most changed, positive.
Yeah.
Next year we'll do what's the opposite of a superlative?
Derogatives.
Terraperlative.
Nice.
All right, we've got 1 vote for CJ, 2 votes for Owen.
Landon, this is where we all stare at you.
No, this is
I
on
I thought my vote counted already. I voted for Owen.
Oh, okay, so it's
I
3
voted
votes.
for Owen. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, Owen Wolf. Ow, ow. Which kicks him out of the next category. He can't be a best friend.
Nope.
So
So
who?
do 2 people win this one?
Yes.
Best friends?
Or it could be a group. Like I would have said Jean, Owen, and CJ could have maybe, or CJ, Riley, and Owen,
Yeah, I would have
or
put
Jean, whoever was doing taco nights.
I was gonna say I would have put Danny, Owen, and Jean together in a group. But since Owen has won, my pick would be the roommates, CJ and Riley. Riley Thomas, posting Bible verses and working out. He's like a
He's like a modern day Johan Romagna.
yeah. He's like a Johan Romagna light. And so I don't know. I think to me they're probably the closest to best friends on the team, especially because we used Nico Dubersarsky already. I think my favorite thing has been learning that Dubersarsky and Diego Rubio were super tight.
Mhm. But that's not a best friends thing. That's like
No, that's a
father
dad.
and child.
Yeah, that's a dad thing for sure.
But Nico is like spiritually 45 years old. He's
Yeah.
spiritually 75 years old. He's an old man in a boy's actually in a man's body because he's very big, but
he's a
he has the spirit of a
75-year-old
grandpa.
in the body of a regular man with the face and attitude of a child.
Yes.
Nailed it. Dark horse candidate. What about Ilie and Diego?
Oh, that's a good one.
Pretty good.
They did a road trip together up to Kansas City to put a clinic on for like kids in that area. Like they probably talked a lot about being old together.
They made when I got to go to the Pluckers trivia, which what a night. They told the person that they had to be at the table together. They had to be on the same team.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah. My dark horse was going to be Buka and Svatok.
Oh,
Just because of like their little cooking
Bukhari,
videos.
my
It's
friend.
Bukhari,
Bukhari,
my friend.
And then when he was like, "Oh, it's careful, it's hot." That was such a pure moment of friendship for me. But I do think, Mike, I would go with Ilie and Diego. I think you're right here.
Did we miss anyone, Jeremiah, Landon?
I want to just on the friendship thing. I think it's also the ages that we all are, that to find good friends at our age or like above the age of 30 is even more difficult. So when you're 20, 21, you'll hang out with whoever's around. But at Ilie and Diego's age, friendship like that is special and to be commended.
Yeah,
Oh, that was really nice.
that was really nice.
Wow. Yeah, I won't say anything stupid after that. Then what I was gonna say, the only thing I was gonna add, and I don't think these guys are actually best friends, but I've seen them talk a couple times, and like Danny and Brad have a great chemistry and would do like a great buddy cop comedy or whatever. Like they're probably not hanging out together a lot on the side, but they play off each other really well, and they're super entertaining. They may be most entertaining friends.
Yeah, for sure. We should put them on a TV show together.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I like that. Runner up. So I think we can lock in Ilie and Diego for our Austin FC. Runner up award. I'm gonna give all four of us the best friends award for 2025-26 season because
And Landon's already made one for us. For him, he's got to
That's
get
right.
to work and make three
Yeah.
more.
3 more.
I lost the medal. It's up here somewhere.
I see it. Okay. This brings us to our last and possibly best.
Yeah. So the Danny Houston Memorial, most likely to become a barber after retirement award, is given to the player of the year who is most likely to have a second job where like you could stumble upon them after they've retired.
Because for folks who didn't catch this or missed it, Danny Houston is a barber now.
Yes.
Yeah, in the Netherlands, in his home country, he's barbering, and he seems pretty good at it. And I mean, he always had a good cut game, and so to see him take what he was passionate about, because it wasn't necessarily scoring goals, and like turn it into something that has kind of set himself up in the future is really nice.
He always looked really nice. So
Yeah.
he's passionate about that too. So when you were, this is the one that made me laugh so hard when you were talking about ones that CJ Fodre might be a candidate for. When I looked at this one.
Yeah, and to be
Running
clear,
a surf shop in the middle of.
yeah, to be clear, it doesn't have to be a barber,
Okay.
but I do see where you were going with that, Landon. Man most in need of a haircut probably is where CJ would fall in. Man most in need of a visit to Danny Houston's barbershop.
So this is spiritually most likely to become a barber, but doesn't have to be a barber.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, that changes.
Yes, that
things.
changes that for me too.
And this assumes that Svatok is not already a hitman during the offseason, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone
cool.
who has
All
a
right.
current side job disqualified from
count.
the award. Yeah.
Okay. Never mind then. I'll have to think about mine a little bit more too.
So you have to think it's going to be guys who like will have jobs when they quit playing soccer.
Yeah.
So
probably
you would
not a
imagine like
DP.
DPs are out.
Right.
Everyone else is probably in play.
Yeah. That's how I've looked at it. Is like DPs or kids who will be sold to Europe, probably not in the list.
And we can't use the cop-out answer of realtor because that's probably half of them, right?
Right. Yeah, no, it can't be realtor.
Felipe's like
Yeah, or life coach. Maybe not either, depending on, you could sell me on a life coach.
Matt Bersano's flipping houses, right? Like that's what he does now.
No, he's a goalkeeper coach.
Oh, is he?
At a college. And he drives cool cars.
I bet he's flipping houses too, though.
Yeah, but that's a hustle.
No, that's
a
his
hustle.
job. I bet it pays better than coaching college soccer.
I've got one, but it's
hit us because I don't think any of us do.
Yeah. So my nominee for the Danny Husa Memorial Most Likely to Become a Barber After Retirement Award for 2025 is Brendan Heinzeich's Lawn Care Company.
Oh God.
Oh, that's really good.
Thank you.
Is an elected official? Does an elected official count?
Yeah, I mean, it's a job.
It's not very funny, Steph.
It's
but
okay.
Brad Stuber doing
fine.
something in politics is the most obvious
why I
answer.
wasn't the
Is that where you're
class
going? Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was going, Jeremiah. I was thinking that like the most likely to have a job that like
Contributes
it would
to
be
humanity.
exciting to learn he's a former pro soccer player.
Mm.
So like when you go to your barber and you learn that like, oh, he used to be a professional soccer player, like that's a fun thing to learn. Brad, as a politician, a fun thing to learn about him is that he used to be a professional soccer player. That would be because like he's a very normal person, and yeah, I'm gonna go Brad.
I think that is truly the most likely.
Right.
But I really do like the idea of BHI running a landscaping company when he retires.
Yeah, sorry, my answer is not funny.
But it is right. It feels very
That's my thing, Stephanie.
Yeah. You're stealing Landon's bit here.
I'm never the boring but right one. I'm always the unhinged one.
How does it feel?
Sad because it seems like Landon is disappointed in me.
The only other offer I have is Riley Thomas, youth pastor. And I also feel like it would be one where he'd be like, he would find ways, just like me and Mr. Era, he would find ways to subtly bring that up if you didn't know.
Yeah.
Yes. That is hilarious and also probably pretty true.
I think there's so many boys that would be good, like a la Ethan Finley. Like,
yeah,
he's probably doing a great job at what he's doing right now.
We have so many new sponsors.
Yeah.
Like,
thanks, Ethan.
Or partners.
Like, I imagine like John Gallagher, he's probably going to have to get a job. He's probably going to be really good at that job. I don't know what it's going to be, though. So
right.
I don't know that I can nominate him.
Yeah. Stephen Cleveland probably going to be like a bridge engineer or something. Like once he stops being Sporting Kansas City's #1 goalkeeper.
Yeah. Yeah, Steph Cleveland is a really good one.
But I think it has to go to Brad.
I agree. I think Brad wins. Brad's the only real answer.
Mayor Stuver.
Yeah.
I love that.
Sorry, Brendan. Brad took your award this year.
Y'all, thank you so much for playing that with us. We want to do some more off-season content stuff. We want to do some more brackets in the future with y'all, but this was a really great way to satisfy some of that like longing since our very popular Smile bracket 5 years ago.
Yeah. Boys, do you have a New Year's resolution?
I don't believe in them, so I do not.
Well, I mean, they exist.
They're not.
Prove it, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm not a big New Year's resolution guy either. One thing I think I mentioned this on the show. I've started doing stained glass classes. I've done a couple of those, but I think I'm gonna like go all in and like buy the equipment at home so I don't have to pay a studio to do it anymore. So it's not a resolution, but it's a thing I'm gonna do in 2026.
Will you teach me?
Sure.
My resolution is to have you teach me stained glass.
It's one
now
of those
you're
things
roped in.
Learning to do the basics is pretty simple, but it's like you can learn a craft over time, which is like part of the appealing part to me. But yeah, I'll teach you.
That's so exciting. Steph, do you have a New Year's resolution?
My my like goal for, it's not really a resolution, it's just a general goal. I want to feel like an athlete again. That's my big, like, I've talked to Mike a lot obviously about this, but the thing that I miss about my childhood or whatever, like, it's not the skating of it all. It's the fact that like I was a like peak fitness athlete, and that feeling is something that like I want to have back. And so not in a particular sport, but like just, I went to a Pilates class today. I can't walk, but it was awesome.
She's going after that superlative in 2026. Look out, John.
Yeah, look out, John.
She's taking you down.
But yeah, I just want to feel like an athlete again.
Well, y'all, the reason I ask is because this episode will come out the day before New Year's Eve, and I'm sure some of our listeners will be thinking about their New Year's resolutions. And I would love to get a whole bunch of reviews in for Moontower that are just resolutions. And then we can check in on them as the year goes.
That's cute.
And so I just think that would be really fun as a way to like show appreciation for the work that the two of y'all have done in building this show, and the like allowing Steph and I the space to come in and hang out and mess it up sometimes. And so, just thank you so much for everything. 2025 has been an amazing year. And if you're listening, it's because of you that we get to do this. And so thank you.
Thanks so much to you guys. We're so happy to have you as part of the family. Before we wrap up the show, Steph, you need to make a plug for your new podcast.
I do have a new podcast. It is a true crime podcast called All That Glitters. And that is all I think I'm going to say about it. You can find it at All That Glitters on any podcatcher. Go in with an open mind.
Steph
good.
made it, so it's very good.
I
That's
did
all you
make
need
it.
to know.
Thank you. I like it. I'm very, very proud of it. I can't say too much because it like ruins it, Like I feel like plugging it is so hard because I want to be like, it's this exact thing. But like then like the end of episode 1 is spoiled for you.
But after episode 1, you should know what it's about.
I hope so.
If you like crime stuff, listen to it.
Yeah. If you like me, listen to it.
Exactly.
If you don't like crime stuff and you don't like Steph, go give it a 5-star review and subscribe anyhow.
That's right. Tell your friends who
Exactly.
do like both of those things or either of those things.
Tell everyone's mom. I'm popular with moms.
This podcast especially will be popular with moms.
Yeah, that is true.
Moms love
All right.
crime.
All right. Before we wrap up, come hang out on New Year's Day, Turnstile, 2 p.m. Be there, be square. We'll do Moontower After Dark at some point in the near future, but if nothing else, we'll be back next week with another episode of Moontower Soccer. Until then, I'm Landon Cottam.
Jeremiah Bentley.
I'm Steph Cragnola.
And I'm Mike Cragnola.
We'll catch you next time.
Thank for nothing, see you never.
La gente.
Oh my God.
Because we love cheap boom boom sauce.
Yeah.